All right. So let's talk about controlling rotation when we have north-south. All right. So we know where our handles are: the elbow, shoulder, the face, the wrist. When we're controlling the upper body, right? So what's good about being in north-south? So if I'm in north-south and I'm here, and generally my weight is on his chest and his shoulder area. What's good about it is I'm far from his legs, which means if he wants to try to re-guard, I'm far. If he wants to bridge, I'm not on his hips, so he's not going to move me too much. So if I'm over here and he bridges right now, like it's not going to move me too much. If he's going to try to re-guard right now, so he's going to try to go over here, my legs or my hips are far from his legs, right? So it's a good position to kind of control your partner, but at the same time, it's a good position also to control rotation. So what are we going to look for? If my weight is already heavy on this shoulder, I know that if he wants to rotate to his right, it's going to be hard, right? So what are the types of rotation first that he can do to try to escape? He can rotate this way, which is away from me, okay? He can rotate towards me, so like log rotation, right? Now, there's also rotations where he's like a hand of a clock. So he can go this way, and he can go this way, and a combination of both, right? So we have to control like all of those types of rotation. So how do we control the hand of a clock? Because I know he's going to do that to try to get his legs in, right? So all I'm going to do is, for him to rotate like that, his head has to go that way, and his legs have to go here, right? So yes. So I just have to put a stopper here, and I have to put a stopper here. Okay, so what am I going to utilize, right? My elbow by the side of his face, and my hand here is just going to be on the mat, and my forearm and my arm is just blocking his hip and his thigh area. So what it's going to look like is I'm going to be here, and I'm just blocking like this. Okay, so when he moves like that, go ahead, he's going to feel stuck. Okay, so if he moves the other way, what's going to stop his side of his face here is going to be like my rib and my hip area. So it's also going to be hard for him to rotate that way. So hand of a clock motion, go that way, yeah, you see? And if I want to, you see how it's stuck. There's a certain point where he can't go anymore because his head can't go that way. So I just go here. I can follow him if I want, and I just stay here. He moves again to the other side, and I stop him here. So I know there's not much threat that way, okay? So now let's talk about the rotation this way. I make sure that I'm heavy on this shoulder, so as he rotates like a lot to his right, like it's hard. I feel it coming up right here, so I just stay heavy here like this, okay? Now, I know there's nothing stopping this side from going up this way. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to have active toes, which means my toes are on the mat. I'm not going to have laces on the mat because I can't push off of the mat like this, okay? So I'm going to have toes on the mat, active toes, and I'm just going to push off the mat to prevent this shoulder from coming up. So anytime he turns towards me, I just push off the mat a little bit. So go ahead, try both rotations, yeah, move around there, good. Try hand of a clock, good, and I'm just here. Now, the heavier I want to get, the more limbs I want off the mat. So my knees, if I get it off the mat, the weight that was on my knees is not going to go onto him. So all I do is I get my knees off, right? So here, knees on the mat. You see how it's a bit lighter, Carlos, right? Yeah. You're here, and then now I put knees off the mat. I'm a little bit heavier here. So move around a little bit. Go ahead. Go ahead. Try to rotate, whatever. Boom. I'm just here. I can follow because I have active toes, and I just stay steady here. So this is us controlling rotation, keeping him pinned. But if we want to attack, we're going to need to have him rotate a little bit, right? So sometimes I bait him to turn to get his back. So let's just say we're over here for this one. If I want him, like I feel him rotating that way and I want him to rotate, maybe I get underneath this arm and I alleviate that pressure on his shoulder to make him go. And then I'm trying to transition to my chair sit position here, right? Same thing when it's on the other side. So if he tries to get an underhook here, boom, I can start going here, top spin, and try to get the back here, right? So if I know that those are the ways for him to try to escape, I can use it to bait him to give his back and expose it so I can get the back. Or I can actively try to put it there, right? So let's back up here a little bit. So what are some of the ways? How about if he does want to stay flat? Maybe he doesn't want us to progress in our position, right? Maybe he's ahead on points and he's just stalling it out a little bit and I need to create a situation where I can attack. So what I'd like to do is I like to get my hand, okay, and I'm going to scoop this and try to get the arm on my shoulder, okay? I want it aligned with my shoulder. This arm here can be up here. Like some people have a hard time getting the kimura here, But you'll notice that if your pressure is correct, he will give the arm, right? So I'll go here like this, and I'll put pressure, and I'll nudge my shoulder like this to feed the forearm past my head. And so what's gonna happen is, I'm over here like this, and I put pressure, look. Now I put pressure, he's gonna wanna turn. Now I get the Kimura grip, now I'm here. I can get Kimura, I can get arm bar, I can go here, I can get the back. All that because we got him to expose his back and we were the one to actively try to create that motion. So when you think about rotation, like pinning somebody on the ground, you're looking for where you are relative to your partner. Being that we're in north-south and I'm here, I'm thinking controlling elbow, shoulder, face, which we're doing, right? We've got the shoulder, I've got my hip by his face, my elbow by his face, my hand by the hip. I'm not trying to control the knees and the ankles right now because that's not where I am relative to my partner. So I'm going to be here as I control, okay? And then later on, you can start going here to start scooping that look. He's going to rotate again. Now he's on his side, right? I can start going here, getting him flying back again, or making him turn. Try to kick him back again. You can play around with your partner. So by understanding like where the handles are, how you can rotate your partner, you can really kind of see where you're going to take your game from that position. So hope you guys try that out.